Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode of the Cauldron of Fear, the next Lone Wolf book in the Magnikai series, and I have Karzie here with me again.
Hello.
And last time, we travelled not too far into the new territory, talked with some people, got ourselves an invitation that we definitely did have room for, and we've now come to a tavern where we're going to have to pay for the room. Let's do that and go to page 34.
Ooh. It better be a nice room.
Gayuk gives you each a key to your room and offers you both a glass of vodka on the house, kind of like vodka. Gratefully, you accept and down the warming liquor in one gulp.
Oh.
You notice that at the far end of your table, a man sits with his two young sons. They appear to be gambling with a group of plains farmers seated opposite, although you can see no money changing hands. If you wish to move along the table and sit next to them, 339. If you wish to engage Gayuk in conversation, 268. If you wish to order some food, 88. Hey, I want to play that game.
You want to play the game?
Yeah.
Alright.
Want to play a little game?
Yeah, you want to play game? I'm Lone Wolf.
Alright, 339.
Okay.
Ow, I just hit my microphone.
Oh, always a bad thing. The father and the farmers are taking it in turns to ask each other riddles. In Anari, it is forbidden to gamble for money on the game of chance. But the wily Anarians get around the law by devious means. They gamble on being able to answer riddles correctly, which demands exercising skill rather than chance. And they wager goods, sometimes their services, in place of money. By the time you join them, the father and his sons have amassed quite an assortment of valuable items. And the plain farmers are clearly anxious to win back some of their lost possessions. If you wish to join in and take an Anarian gamble, turn to that page. If you do not wish to take part in their game, but would rather engage the tavern owner in conversation, go there. If you would rather order a meal, still go to 88.
Riddle.
I like me a riddle too, and there's got to be one that I'll solve before you eventually. Most of these riddles have been like math riddles or something.
So, yeah. So on mine, it had a note saying you have to have at least 3 items or 1 special item to gamble. So 115. It is the father's turn to ask a riddle, but firstly, you must decide on your stake. You can choose to gamble either 1 special item or 3 backpack items. I wonder which 3 I'll bet. It's gonna be meal. I knew they were here for a reason. If you should fail to answer the riddle correctly, you will forfeit the items you've staked. If you answer the riddle correctly, you will win the chance to pick any 2 items from the father's hoard of valuables. Put a tick on your action chart beside the item or items that you wish to stake. A hush descends as you wait for the riddle patiently. The father, whose name is Kumar, draws his dagger from its scabbard and lays it on the table. Then he rests his hands on the shoulder of his eldest son and says, "This dagger is now half as old as my son Lowen, as my son Lowen was when the dagger was new. Lowen is now 15 years old. How old is the dagger? If you think you can answer the riddle, turn to the entry number that's the same as the riddle. If you can't answer the riddle, turn to 204. Okay, so again, this is maths, pretty much. So,
yep.
The daggers are now half as old as my son Lowen was when the dagger was new. So when the dagger was new, it's 0 years old, and Lowen was L years old, let's say, for the sake of maths, capital L. Now it's half as old as the son at that time. So at this current moment, the dagger is half of L, and therefore the son will be 3/2 L. So the son is 3 times as old as the dagger. No, sorry, the son is 3 times older than the dagger. It would make sense if the dagger
not 2 times?
3 times, because the sun is 3 over 2L, and the dagger is half L. So it's 3 times as much. 1.5L.
Okay.
The sun, sorry, the kid. So basically, the dagger's 0, and the sun is L at the time of the dagger being new. And at this current moment, the dagger is half of the sun's age back then. So it's half L right now, which means half L years have passed. So if the dagger's aged by half of L, then so has the sun. The sun has gained another half L years. So the sun is 1.5 L, and the dagger is half L, which makes the sun 3 times as old as the dagger. And if we put the number in, number 5, it'll make sense. Because when the dagger is new, it's 0 and the sun is 5. And now the sun is 15, which is 10 years later. And the dagger will have also aged by that 10. Oh, whoa. Hang on. How did I mess this up? Crap. Double check this.
You turn to page 5, right?
No. Don't tell me the answer. Oh, okay, I need to write this down now.
Oh!
It's either 5 or 10. Gotta write down the maths.
So he's like 1/3 of the current age of the kid. You said the kid is 3 times older, right?
I think so. I need to just double check. Currently, so when the dagger's new, the dagger is 0 years old, and the sun is L years old. Then, at this moment in time, the sun is 15, and the dagger is now half of the sun's age. So, okay. So the difference between the sun's old age, L, and 15, so 15 minus L, should be the same amount of time as half of L. From 0 to half L. Because they both age together. The sun was L, now he's 15. The dagger was 0,
yes.
Now it's half L. So if I rearrange that equation, 15 should equal 3 over 2 L's. Which means if I cross multiply, 15 times 2 divided by 3 is L, age of the sun. But I want the age of the dagger. That's what I was getting confused about. Okay, let's work out what L is first.
Yeah,
15.
This is something I'd have to have like written down in front of me.
So 30 over 3, that's 10. So the sun was 10, which makes the dagger 5 years old. Okay. Dagger is 5 years old. Yeah, the sun was 10, now it's 15, that's 5 years. Dagger was 0, now it's 5 years old. Okay, draw the dagger is 5 years old. I'll write all the
We
maths
have
on this.
figured it out.
Please don't be wrong, please don't be wrong, please don't be wrong. Yes! You have answered the riddle correctly. And Kamas displays his collection of value. Actually,
Oh. You have answered the riddle correctly. And Kamar displays his collection of valuables from which you may choose your winnings. You may take any of the 2 articles listed. They are all backpack items. A silver bowl, a vial of gold dust, altar cloth, scroll of honor. This scroll will give you honor. Oh. Jade and anklets. Huh.
I'm gonna drop a flask of Bozer as well.
Okay.
Don't know which one. I think the gold dust sounds cool.
Yeah, we could do
What item do
that.
you want?
Not silver bowl. Silver bowl sounds kind of dumb. Watch it become useful later. But you want to take the gold dust? I agree. You know what? We need some jewelry around our feet. Take those Jaden anklets.
Okay. Jaded antlers it is.
If you already carry a maximum number of backpack items, you may discard Since you have displayed your intelligence so effectively, the plains farmers are now reluctant to continue gambling. Kamar and his sons gather up their winnings and bid you goodnight, and the followers follow suit. If you wish to talk with the tavern owner, go there. If you wish to order a meal, go there. If you decide to call it a day and retire to your room, go there.
Let's talk with the tavern owner.
Let's talk. Yeah, why not? Maybe he'll have some sagely advice for us. Usually talking to people is always good in this. Like, it hasn't... Oh, but we are going to be betrayed. So we can't rely on that. Oh,
We'll see.
okay.
Gaiuk is a nervous and jittery sort of man. He's afflicted with all manner of tics and twitches, and is given to worrying about anything and everything. Recently his condition has worsened, and in light of events in the north, it is not difficult to understand why. Oh, what's to become of us? Where will it all end? He mutters, wringing his pudgy hands and casting his eyes to the rafters. Every day, for the last 2 weeks, wagons filled with women and children have been leaving Tahou for the south. Yet the lieutenant tells us nothing is wrong, and we should go about our business and not concern ourselves with city affairs. Well, I for one am not fooled. I tell you they're keeping us in the dark about what's really happening, and I'm not going to wait around to suffer the consequences. I'm closing up and moving out at the end of the week, and if you two gentlemen would take some friendly advice, you'll be wise to do the same.
Wow, he talks really fast.
Someone in the tavern is calling for more vodka. Before you can question Gaiuk further, he snatches up a bottle and scurries away to serve his thirsty customer. If you now wish to order some food, turn to 88. If you decide to retire to your room, turn to 156. This thing really wants us to eat that food. Go to 88.
I'm kind of weary of the food ever since the last time we took a free meal.
Oh yeah, we got poisoned.
Yeah. I
don't know why. Last time, you know when we ate the noodles or whatever, the soup, and then we got poisoned afterwards. I thought for some reason that that Helgast had poisoned us like directly with some magic. I never clocked on that it was the food that did it.
Didn't I mention something about it too?
You did, and I just dismissed it. I just thought, nah, it's got to be him. Like, I thought those monks were nice. Like, they gave us a nice, tasty meal. And I kept thinking to myself, well, it tasted good, so how could he have been poisoned?
You know, you never know how often you derp on something until you see yourself do it again.
Yeah. I was editing the video and I was like, hang on a minute, he poisoned us. I don't know if I can see that. I was just focused on. I remember hungry at the time. I was just like, oh yeah, it tastes so good. I don't give a shit. There's no way these nice monks who gave us a tasty meal could have done this. It must have been that guy. He poisoned us right here and now.
He gut punched us and poisoned us.
Okay, so what should we do then? Should we get the food or not?
Oh no. I say no, but if you want to order some food,
no, it's fine, Probably gonna waste crowns anyway.
Okay. Yeah, we've fed other people. That works. The room, which overlooks the courtyard and stables, is small yet surprisingly clean and comfortable. You sleep well, but you are rudely awoken at dawn by the clang of a brass handbell. Gaiuk's wife is walking around the courtyard, ringing it for all she's worth. Daybreak! Daybreak! All awake! She cries, her voice only slightly less piercing than her bell. Quickly, you wash and dress before gathering together your equipment, heading for the stables. Banedon is already there, having risen before dawn to prepare the horses. The sky is cloudless and the air is warm, and still as you ride out of Chadi. Open grasslands stretch before you, broken occasionally by the low, whitewashed farm buildings and the peasant dwellings.
Not pleasant, the peasant.
Pleasant peasant dwellings there. They're just really pleasant to be around. I mean, what can I say? It is noon when you arrive at a mass of standing stones that line the highway approaches to the village. Of Fea. Banedon recalls a local legend that the Black Zakon of Vasagonia once came to wage war on the defenseless inhabitants of Fea, who have no army. The besieged people offer up prayers to the goddess Ishir, who sufficiently moved by their plight to cause the wicked Vasagonians to become petrified right where they stood, clad in full armor, clasping their weapons. It strikes you that the fiends may very soon have cause to pray for Ishor's help a second time. A mile beyond the village, you see a cloud of dust on the highway. If you have the Magic Discipline of Hunt Mystery and have reached the rank of Principalian, go there. Turn to page 69. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Using your improved Kai mastery, you focus on the distant dust cloud. It grows larger and sharper as your telescopic vision magnifies the image. Yeah, I'll bet 69 does that to you. I'm sorry.
Enhance! Enhance!
You see a patrol of Inarian cavalry riding toward you, led by one who wears a crimson cloak. Crimson cloak! Red alert! Red alert!
Oh, shit.
You count 20 lances, each of them bearing a small flag embroidered with the arms of Tahou. If you wish to ride forward to meet these soldiers, turn to 193. If you choose to avoid them by hiding behind the standing stones, turn to 78. We're hiding! Oh my god, remember, red cloaks
We're hiding.
Death. They are death. They're Vordaks. I know it is. It's gotta be.
I know, but we can take it.
I'm hiding.
But, okay,
we can always
hide.
die.
Let's hide.
We can always ambush them if we need.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe we don't need to kill one. I mean, maybe they have a Hydra effect. You know, you kill one, two more pop up or something. There's only one group of standing stones that offers enough cover for you. Banedon and your mounts. They are situated very close to the highway along which the cavalry must pass. You wait tensely as the thunder of their hooves grows steadily louder. Then suddenly, your horse rears up, startled by a snake which has slithered around its foreleg. If you had the Makai Discipline of Animal Control, go there. Which I would have said yet if we got a little animal pet.
Oh.
If you do not possess the skill, go there. I guess we're fighting a little snake.
Apparently not. The leader of the approaching cavalry, a sergeant, signals to his men to change formation. They leave the highway and draw up in a circle, closing around your hiding place. The sergeant unsheathes his curved cavalry sword, holds it at arm's length, and edges his mount nearer so that the blade hovers menacingly just before your chest. "You're both under arrest!" he bellows. "On suspicion of spying! Drop your weapons at once!" If you wish to obey the sergeant's order, turn to 24. If you choose to resist arrest, turn to 85. Big choice here.
I think we gotta resist. I don't want my shit taken again.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We're not having our stuff confiscated for like the nth time.
Yeah. I'm so sick of that. Let's just kill them.
We're killing them.
All right, 85. You draw a hand weapon just in time to parry the sergeant's attack. His blade glances away as he curses your speed as you duck his sweeping backstroke. With a growl, he pulls his horse away and orders 6 of his men to cut you down.
Alright, let's do this. High Mind Blast, Weapon Skill, Weapon Mastery, Dual Wield, Law Circle, Silver Helmet, Chainmail Waistcoat, Shield, Padded Leather Waistcoat, Summer Sword. 46 versus 32. Combat rate. Oh, man, a 1! Got a 1? Ah, you bastards.
After all those cool bonuses.
Random number table is not being kind to us.
No, it's not.
Kill. Yes! Die! Die! Even though they're probably like innocent people. Die! Follow me! Shouts Banedon as he jumps his horse over the bodies of your slain attackers and gallops along the highway. He has survived the fight unscathed by casting a magical net of sticky strands over a dozen rangers and their horses. He ensnared them all before they had a chance to level their lances at him. The sergeant and the remnants of his company pursue you as you speed north along the highway, but you soon outdistance them, and the sergeant orders off the chase, returning to the standing stones to free his netted men. Only when he and his men are beyond the horizon do you rein in your horses and slacken the pace. 2-1-3.
It is late afternoon when you see the Tahou hills. They appear like a mirage on the horizon, shimmering beyond the haze that rises from the sun-baked plain. Without stopping for food or rest, you hurry across the hot grasslands and follow the highway as it descends towards the mouth of a pass. A stone watchtower guards the entrance to the hills, and a cluster of whitewashed huts lie huddled around its base. If you had the mic discipline of pathmanship, go there.
Oh yeah.
Because we do.
Your senses tingle with a premonition of danger. My spider sense is tingling. My lone wolf sense is tingling. You are sure that the watchtower and huts conceal an enemy lying in ambush. You tell Banedon your fears, and he looks ahead, his keen eyes narrowing. The pass is dark, with the gathering dust, and he cannot detect anything unusual about the settlement, except that it appears deserted. If we avoid the pass, we'll have to make a wide detour, and rejoin the highway and place deeper in the hills, he says, scanning the shadowy highlands. Even if we don't get lost, we'll be lucky to reach Tahou before nightfall. If you wish to avoid the settlement and make a wide detour, turn 335. If you decide to gallop through the pass, despite the risk of an ambush, turn to 92. We haven't had that many fights. I've got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah, I feel like we're tired. We're getting lazy. We need a place to rest.
There's not enough bloodshed. We literally just had our first fight, just like a couple pages back.
Yeah.
Oh, more fights.
Yeah. You enter the pass side by side, galloping your white Anarian steeds along the rubbish-strewed road that winds its way through the deserted settlement. As you pass the watchtower, a chilling howl rises from the shadows behind the huts. Then, like demons from a nightmare, a host of snarling Giaks bursts into view, riding from their hiding places to stride giant doom wolves. They thunder towards you on either side, shrieking and thrusting their spears at the darkening sky. Pick a number from the random number table.
It's an 8. The highway twists like a restless snake as you gallop headlong through the darkening Tahou hills. The unholy baying of the Doomwolves draws steadily closer as you fight desperately to keep your tired horses ahead of the ravening pack. 3 miles from the Watchtower settlement, the fastest pack members draw level with you as you race along a dry watercourse. Their eyes and fangs glint evilly in the moonlight as they cut across your path, forcing you to stand and fight.
You gotta fight! Doomwolves howl and their Giak riders cackle with glee as they hurl themselves upon you. You lash out at a gray skin rider, cleaving his grinning head in two, and swinging your arm back just in time to dispatch a Doomwolf that is leaping towards your face. All around you, the snarl and screech and press of bodies threaten to overwhelm your senses, but you are a Kai master, and in the heat of battle, your nerve is ice cool. Grimly, you fight with the speed and skill that leaves a dozen dead in as many blows. But you do not fight alone. Banedon rears into view, flashes of flame sputtering from his fingers with a crack, like a whip that echo above the din of combat. Then another wave of wolf riders appears. They charge into the fray, driving a wedge between you and your companion. A black sword cuts the air less than an inch from your scalp. But you deal its wielder a fatal blow before he can strike a second time. He falls, yet his Doom Wolf mount leaps up and clings to your horse, his claws buried into the saddle leather, its foaming jaws snapping at your throat. You must dispatch this beast quickly before it drags you both to the ground.
Do this. We don't have animal control. We don't need it. Kick this thing.
So
down
let me
from
get
one
this
go.
straight. We just cut a dude's head off, kill a wolf, spin around, kill a wolf, kill another dude, and now we finally dice roll for his wolf mount after we killed like 3 other things, like instantly. Yep. Okay.
We're just that badass now. We didn't even have to fight the other ones. It just says that we won. You win this one, you win that one, you win this one, you win that one. Oh, your horse got attacked. Okay, now you need to actually fight.
Yep.
I
You
managed
know
to win it
what?
in 2 rounds.
That's a good way to look at it. We're just getting that much better.
So 306. The dead Doom Wolf drops heavily to the ground, and your horse rears up on its hind legs, churning the air with its 4 hooves, which strike like steel hammers amid the remaining wolf riders. More than one ends its days with your horse's hoofprint stamped upon its shattered skull. A gap appears and you see Banedon gallop past, his loose robe streaming out behind him like a pair of blue wings. You dig in your heels and urge your brave horse after him, fleeing the battleground as yet more of the wolf riders loom into view. So we're actually using our horse to attack? It was in John Wick 3.
That's pretty cool.
John Wick 3 like keeps tapping the horses in the barn, and they just keep whacking everyone in the head. That was quite funny. I'll insert some clips.
And they make it look like so easy too. Like they always do like the double tap thing. Okay. The wolf riders give chase, but their pursuit is half-hearted, and you have covered less than a mile when you hear the Giaks call off their hunt. They console themselves by hurling threats and vile curses at your backs as you disappear swiftly into the dusk. Ragnar Lokar, okay? I can't believe I still remember that. The highway emerges from it is. The highway emerges from the hills at a village called Varta, situated on the edge of the Tahou Flats. The flats consist of fields of cultivated crops forming a fertile market garden, 2 miles wide, which is farmed right up the banks of the great moat that encircles the capital. Varta is deserted. Its male inhabitants now shelter within the city walls, whilst the women and children have traveled south to the safety of Navasari. As you leave the empty town and descend onto the flats, you catch your first awe-inspiring glimpse of the ancient city.
Yes, we're here.
Ah, finally. We have arrived.
Tahou, an ancient stronghold containing a vast city, is a formidable and wondrous sight in the moonlight. The imposing walls and towers of red stone and grey rock assume the softening sheen of velvet, and the city is often referred to as the Velvet Fortress. Beyond the towers and high curtain wall, you can see 1,000 spires and minarets, grouped as thickly as the trees of a forest. Tiny lights twinkle in countless windows and portals, adding to the splendor of the mighty capital. Near to the city's south gate, the highway is flanked by beacons which illuminate those who approach the gatehouse. A drawbridge spans a moat of black water, and, as you ride across, a bell tolls from the portcullis archway ahead. 2 civilian riders at the south gate! Yells a soldierly voice. Raise a postern! Shouts another. There is a clatter of chains and a scraping of stone. You watch the portcullis, expecting it to rise, but it does not move. Instead, a narrow portal opens at the base of the wall, and an armoured guard steps from the shadows. He motions you to enter, and you follow Banedon along a corridor of stone, leading to a secure enclosure. You glance upwards to see the faces of a dozen soldiers, peering down at you from behind a parapet that encircles the high enclosure walls. All of them grasp loaded crossbows, which they train on you as you move. Then a small gate creaks open, and 2 guards appear, armed with broad-bladed spears. "Who are you?" demands one in a gruff tone. "Why do you seek entry to Tahou?" If you have an invitation and wish to show it, turn to 321. If you wish to tell the guards that you have come to offer your services in the defense of the city, turn to 196. If you wish to say that you intend to enter the Tahou Cauldron, turn to 60.
Well, we got an invitation, right?
Yeah, I kind of want to save at this point.
Okay.
I'm just getting that feeling.
Well, we got an invitation. They better treat us nice. It's a good invitation.
Yeah.
You are just so weary of it, aren't you? You're like, I know this shit. I know this book.
I just know there's some dodgy shit about to happen. I just don't know where.
Uh-oh.
This is all you.
Well, we are gonna be betrayed. I believe
yeah,
Chicken
that's
Man's
true.
words.
You okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, derp. I wasn't. The guards inspect the invitation, their expressions conveying their doubt that the signature it bears is genuine. They order you to dismount, and one of them hurries off to summon the gatehouse commander. Fortunately, when he arrives, he recognizes Lortho's mark and allows you to leave the enclosure. Although he impounds both your horses, you dick. You protest and demand that they be returned, but to no avail. "Order the Senate," says the commander offhandedly. "An emergency decree. All horses belong to the civil population and must be delivered to the care of the garrison stables until the state of emergency is lifted." Reluctantly, you allow the guards to take your steeds, and as they are being led away, the commander hands you a piece of vellum stamp with the date and a number. "Receipts," he explains, his tone noticeably more friendly. Oh, you pocket your receipt. "Mark this as a special item on your action chart. Owing to its size, you may not delete another special item. Yay!"
Hang on, so the invitation takes up room, but the receipt doesn't. They're both just pieces of paper. Fold that shit up. Paper folds.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're right. But hey, look at it this way. We got an inventory spots.
Jesus. I'm gonna dish this invitation the first chance I get.
"Report to the Citadel first thing in the morning. You'll be allocated for your battle positions for when the enemy attacks."
Hey, we never said that we're gonna be part of the defense.
Yeah.
It's scripting us. Leaving your horses in the South Gate Tower behind, you enter a wide avenue flanked by workshops and houses, all built of red stone or rock sheathed in red plaster. The buildings themselves are small and densely packed, yet each one, no matter how humble, has a spire or tower that soars into the sky. The large sleepy-eyed heads of stone dragons gaze down from the balconies of minarets, crowned either with bulbous onion-shaped domes of copper or with platforms housing engines of war recently installed. Banedon points to an eating house and suggests that you stop there for some refreshment. Jaban's house is more than an hour's walk from here, and you are ravenous after your long ride. If you wish to enter the eating house, turn to 80. If you decide to ignore your rumbling stomach and continue your walk to Jaban's house, turn to 146. I don't know. I mean, we passed up the opportunity to eat earlier, so I want to take this opportunity now. In the eating house.
Okay. I agree. The eating house is crowded with soldiers. They sit at benches drawn up to long oak tables, or sprawl around a log fire that crackles in the broad stone gate. Your entrance causes them to pause in their noisy conversations as they look you up and down. However, their curiosity is soon satisfied, and they return to their feasting and boasting. "This way, gentlemen," beckons the owner, and leads you through the crowd to a table in the corner of the high-ceiling room. Banedon hands him a clutch of silver loon, and the jolly red-cheeked man waddles away to fetch your food and ale. The soldiers are dressed in a variety of uniforms, many of which you recognize, but the tunics of mercenary regiments from the Stormlands. 2 of these soldiers are of fortune share your table. They talk in hushed tones and cast nervous glances at another group of men sitting near the fire. If you wish to talk to these soldiers, go here. If you wish to say nothing while you wait for your food, go here.
Oh.
We are a social butterfly, aren't we?
We're no longer Lone Wolf. We're trying to shed that name. Remember, we're trying to be Party Wolf. Pack Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
The men are plainly displeased that you have interrupted their conversation. One of them, a sallow-faced knave with dark eyes and curly black hair, snatches a jug from the table and takes a long swig. He slams it down and turns to his friend. "Did you know?" he says, red wine squirting through his rotted teeth. "My brother Gain was killed in Ragdorn last year. He was stabbed in the back by a lousy Northlander." Slowly, he turns his head and stares coldly in your eyes. "I hate Northlanders," he snarls. "They're all cowardly, backstabbing scum." You notice his hand leave the jug and slip below the table. If you wish to tell him you're sorry to hear what happened to his brother, turn to 8. If you wish to prepare for combat in case he attacks you, turn to 86. If you decide it would be wise to leave the eating house, turn to 347.
Where's the option just to stay quiet and wait for our food? You obviously don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could say sorry, but it's just probably going to piss him off even more. You know what I hate even more? Sorry, Northlanders!
Let's apologize and see what happens. Because then if he attacks us and we kill him, I can at least feel good about that. But if we...
okay.
Yeah. But if we attack him and he was like going to pull out, I don't know, like some roses or something for us. I don't know why he'd have roses on him.
Save your sympathy, he sneers, because you're about to meet him face to face. He's got a pirate accent now. Suddenly he lunges forward, a curved dagger gleaming in his hand. He flicks his wrists and the razor-sharp blade whips through the arc towards your throat. If you have the Makai discipline of Hunt Mastery, go there. Which
thank goodness.
What we
can
do.
We can skip the random number table. 0 to 3, you're dead. You're just dead.
Pretty much. You sneeze and your head jumps forward and he slices your throat.
Makai Mastery alerts you to the attack, and you resist it with breathtaking speed. In one swift moment, you unsheath your weapon and lash out at your attacker, shearing off his arm at the elbow. Arm and dagger.
My God!
Wow. This sounds... You know what this sounds like? This is just like...
Oh, I can't do the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, it's the cantina, isn't it?
Theme. Yeah.
The guy's like pissing off Luke. Like, what are they saying? Oh, he doesn't like you, and I don't like you. And then Obi-Wan comes in with his lightsaber and just chops the guy's arm off. Exactly what happened. This guy, man.
That's just pretty much what happened.
Ripping everyone off, isn't he?
We just Ben Kenobi this guy.
The arm and dagger fall to the table, and the soldier collapses, screaming on the floor. Shocked by what he has seen, his comrade kicks back his bench and retreats from the table. However, the drunken crowd goad him to retaliate, and their jibes sting him into action. He pulls his blade free of its scabbard and leaps forward to attack. Drunken mercenary. I ain't evading combat. This prick's coming at me. I was gonna get slapped.
I'ma kill his ass.
You know how it is. I'm gonna step up. You step up.
All right.
You out. Dead.
Let us nuke them from orbit.
Nuke. Regular death. Just about.
A 2-shot.
Yeah, 2-shot him. We didn't have to bring out our best. It was a 4 and a 5.
As you step over the dead bodies and head towards the exit, the door crashes open, and in rushes a squad of guards from the South Gatehouse, summoned by the owner of the hall. They're all armed with crossbows, which they aim at your chest. Yield, Northlanders! why not? Orders their captain. You have no hope except our mercy. You cast your eyes around the hall for another exit, but all are barred. Reluctantly, you both raise your hands and are taken back to the South Gatehouse Tower. Banedon, because he is a magician, is taken to another part of the city wall to be questioned, while you are imprisoned in a high cell tower. In a cell high in a tower itself. Place an X beside each of the special items, backpack items, and weapons lists on your action chart to indicate that they are no longer in your possession.
Fuck! Oh my god! We got him confiscated again. God damn it.
God.
How many times is gonna happen?
You know what? Is unarmed a proficiency we could get? Because we are unarmed a lot.
The iron door slams shut, and you're left alone to contemplate your unfortunate arrival in Tahou. The cell is narrow and damp, with patches of mold that discolor the red stone walls. The uneven floor is strewn with filthy, moldy straw, and the stale air is heavy with the stench of rotting food and sewage. A solitary window is crisscrossed with bronze bars, green with age, and below it, 1,000 scratches record the passing days of another visitor that fell foul of the gatehouse guard. Anxiously, you cast your eyes around this filthy prison, searching for a chink in its armor that could lead to your escape. If you have the Mankind Discipline of Psi Surge and have reached the Kai rank of Primate or higher, then 47. If you have the Mankind Discipline of Nexus, 202. If you possess neither of these skills, 227.
I'm assuming we possess neither.
Yeah, we got none.
Shit. Alright. You pace the cell like a caged lion, cursing your predicament and trying to think of a way to escape. After an hour, you resign yourself to your fate and settle down on your haunches to sleep. The prod of a spear haft wakes you up from your slumber. On your feet! Snarls the brutish sergeant at arms, standing over you with a spear poised to strike again. Two soldiers grab you roughly by the collar and shove you through the open cell door into the arms of an escort that has come to take you before the chief magistrate. Your hands and feet are shackled with chains, and you are bundled into a covered wagon waiting beside the south gate. It moves off at breakneck speed, and by the time it reaches its destination, you are covered in bruises. Lose 2 endurance points.
And we'll just get him back.
Yeah.
We literally
we'll get him back.
Just get the bruises,
talking.
get the meal. Got that healing factor.
Can you imagine that? They're like trying to bruise you and they like, look at this, it just heals instantly.
The courthouse of Chief Magistrate is a grim grey building. Devoid of any decoration or embellishment, its stark bare walls serve to remind the Tahouese of its sober purpose. It is a place where justice is meted out to its wrongdoers. Harsh punishments are imposed. Floggings and executions take place here every day of the week. All trials are conducted before a magistrate, and his decision is final, as there are no juries in Tahou. The Chief Magistrate presides over crimes that are serious enough to warrant the death penalty, and your heart sinks when you learn that he is to sit in judgment of you. You put up quite a struggle, but your shackles prevent you from breaking free of your armed escort. They drag you to the courtroom, throw you face down into an iron cage that stands before the Chief Magistrate's chair. A bell is struck to signal the arrival of Chief Magistrate, and he enters the court surrounded by an entourage of scribes. The bell rings once more, and the scribes say with one voice, "This session is now in hearing!" If you've ever visited the city of Veretta, or a hut on the Ruin and Pike, in a previous Lone Wolf adventure, turns 294. Yes, we have.
Oh. You shake your head in disbelief when you see who is sitting in the Chief Magistrate chair. It is Gwynion, the Sage of Veretta, the man who foretold the dangers of the Chasm of Doom and helped you find the Lorestone Veretta. Our stars unite, Lone Wolf, he says, the trace of a smile wrinkling his kindly face. Destiny has decreed we should meet again.
Nice.
I forgot what I did for his voice.
Arrogantly, the Sergeant at Arms presents the case against you, but Chief Magistrate Gwinion is unimpressed with his account of your crimes. Do you not know who it is you brought before this court? He asks. The Sergeant looks puzzled, and a thin film of sweat breaks out on his reddening face, as his confidence begins to crumble. After a long and embarrassing silence, he replies, no, sir. This is Lone Wolf, the last Kai Master of Summerland. Have you not heard of this man? Yes, sir, he replies hoarsely, scarcely able to believe what he is hearing. I order his possessions to be restored to him forthwith, and all charges against him to be dropped. A bell is rung to signify the end of the hearing, and the courtroom is cleared. You are released from the cage and ushered into the Chief Magistrate's private chambers, where your equipment is returned to you. Oh, yeah, I'm claiming to do it all in one go.
Best bro.
I have to get all of these shit back. Select. Maybe it's put in a better order than it was before.
Maybe.
These grade items. Oh, we have to re-equip our stuff. Summer sword. Oh yeah, that's the weapons are at the top now. Summer sword equipped.
Nice.
Unequip the dagger and equip dagger of Vashna. Also,
Yeah.
Else we can equip. I think
We have like our ebony and ivory combo.
Yeah. And I think that invitation needs to go at some point. We don't need to get rid of it just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on.
Okay.
The Elder Magi sent word of your coming, Lone Wolf,
says Gwinion. They knew of my appointment to the city judiciary when I can't say that word. When I came... Judiciary? When I came to live here 2 years ago. My home, the halls of learning in Veretta, was destroyed by a fire set by the agents of the Dark Lords. Like yourself, I am a sole survivor, the last of my order. The elders asked me to afford you what protection I could, and to help you in your quest for the lore stone of Tahou. He leads you to a table, the surface of which is engraved with a huge map of the city. With a rod of glass, he points to the location of the Tahou Cauldron. It is in the Square of the Dragons in the west district of the city. The cauldron is a funnel-shaped hollow with a circular shaft at its base. The shaft descends to the ruins of the ancient city of Zarix, 500 feet below Tahou. Legend tells us that the lore stone was thrown into the cauldron to prevent the Black Zakan of Vasagonia from capturing it during the Great Corium War. The shaft was closed off and has remained sealed for the last 360 years. You ask Gwinion if he can order the release of your companion. It has already been done, he replies. I released Banedon into the custody of his former mentor, Chiban the Magician, 3 hours ago. He is with them now at this house on Leech Street. He is quite safe, but you must not delay your quest any further by going there yourself. At dawn, the enemy will be at the gates of the city, and the battle for Tahou will have begun. There is only one man who can help you now, for there is only one person that can grant you access to the shaft of the cauldron that descends to Zarix. That man is President Doltuda of Anari. Come, I will arrange an audience with him immediately.
Gwinion dispatches a messenger to the Honorarium, the House of the Senate, where members of the governing council have gathered for an emergency assembly called by the president himself. Within the hour, the messenger returns with a furled parchment bearing the presidential seal. He has agreed to hear your plea, Lone Wolf, says Gwinion, his eyes scanning the official reply. This news raises your flagging spirits, but the sage seems a little disappointed. I was hoping for a private audience with the president, he says. But in view of the current crisis, I suppose it is the best we could expect. You must appear before the Senate this evening. and state your reasons for wishing to enter the Tahou Cauldron. They will consider your request and vote accordingly. Their decision will be final. He hands you the scroll and arranges for his personal carriage to take you to the Anarium. As you climb aboard and sink into the plush, upholstered seat, you exchange a farewell wave with Gwynnian the Sage. May the gods watch over you, he says, and may you live to fulfill your destiny. I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. That reminds me of that line Bane says. Well, said that.
The great flagstone precinct at the entrance to the Anarium is packed with hundreds of people. Senate officials, soldiers, and citizens crowd the steps that give access to the grand foyer and outer chambers of the hall. You notice that a side entrance is being used exclusively by Army scouts who arrive with dispatches and leave with orders for lookouts hidden in the surrounding hills. Yet you take a calculated gamble and order the carriage driver to draw up at the side entrance. This bold move pays off. Upon seeing your presidential scroll, not only do the guards allow you into the Anarium, but you are escorted to the appellant gallery inside the assembly hall itself. Nice place. A little religious-y, but a nice place.
Why are they all sat inside the archways? What the hell is that in the middle?
What is that in the middle? Hold on, let me click on that. Is it like all our stuff? No.
Looks like someone's laying in a
President
beanbag.
Tolda occupies the seat in the center of the hall and presides over a heated discussion. That's what it says over here.
Oh, okay. Looks like
So that's the president.
Hedonism bot from Futurama.
I bet you he sits in a very comfy chair, though. I bet you that chair's real comfy. Alright, how do I go back? Alright, go back. From your seat in the gallery, you stare down at an oval hall, ringed by 12 arches, beneath which the senators of Ansari sit upon their throne-like chairs of lacquered oak. President Tolda occupies the seat in the center of the hall and presides over a heated discussion that is raging back and forth. Having heard all sides of the argument, he calls for a vote, and the issue is decided by a show of hands. We now come to a quite extraordinary matter, which has been raised by one of our most eminent citizens, says President Tolda, introducing your appeal to the Senate. He turns to the gallery and calls out, Summer Landing, Lord, Lone Wolf, please make yourself known to the assembly. You rise from your seat and bow to the senators. Please present your request to us, Lone Wolf, says the president, and a hush descends on the hall as you explain the purpose of your journey to Tahou. When you have finished, the president calls upon the senators to speak. I say we should help the Summer Landing, pipes the shrill voice of Senator Ziliaris. If he finds a lost stone, his power could turn the tide to save the Tahou from the clutches of the Dark Lord Nag. A murmur of agreements. He took your James! He took your James! A murmur of agreement stirs in the hall.
The different senators.
And I say we should refuse to open the cauldron. Booms a powerful voice of Xander Chill. Sure. I say that if it were not for this presence in our city, we would be spared the attention of the Dark Lords. He is the object of their anger and spite. I say we should give him to them, and in doing so, we will save our city, our country, our people, and ourselves. A surge of support echoes from the arches, and your skin prickles at the thought of what could happen. President Tolda calls for a vote to decide whether the Senate should allow you to enter the cauldron or use you as a bargain piece with the Dark Lords. Tensely, you await the result. The votes are cast and counted, and the Senate is split evenly. 6 votes for you, 6 votes against. The decision now rests within the president himself. He must cast the deciding vote by rolling a dice.
Shit, it's evenly weighted as well. 1.
Oh, you got a 1?
Please.
Oh.
Standing beside the president's chair is a solid marble plinth with a bronze beacon, the Anarian symbol of law and order, fixed at the top. The president moves his hand to the padded arm of his chair and presses a button. All eyes are on the beacon. There's a flash of ignition, and a jet of green flame roars upwards towards the dome's ceiling.
The Senate votes to aid your quest, Lone Wolf,
says Senator Zelaris.
Come, we will escort you to the Square of the Dragons and make preparations for the Cauldron to be opened.
The assembly is dissolved, and the state coaches are summoned to take you and all the senators to the Tahou Cauldron. You share a carriage with the president, Senator Zelaris, and Senator Chill, who is anxious to apologize for opposing the majority vote. Senator Chill. No, Senator Chill. He seems very chill. Trust you'll forgive me, Lone Wolf, he says unctuously. I've never heard that word. Yeah, I merely propose what I thought was best for my country. Realize I was wrong. You nod benignly, in the hope that he will cease his fawning. He smiles and turns to the president. Sir, I feel I must make amends for my misguided action in the Senate. Lone Wolf was to enter the Cauldron tonight. Surely it's our duty to ensure that he's adequately equipped. Propose that we visit one of my warehouses, where he's free to take anything he requires. The president agrees, and the carriage is redirected to a warehouse near the Square of the Dragons. Senator Chill has many business interests in the city, and he supplies much of the weaponry and armor that equips the army. His warehouse is full of supplies, and you are encouraged to take whatever you need. From the vast stores, you select the following: rope, short sword, blanket, mace, bow, flask of water, 6 arrows, quiver, broadsword, lantern, dagger. Okay, first things first, fuck off invitation. And hello.
Get out of my inventory spot.
And hello, 6 arrows. Flask of water seems unique. Oh wait, no, blanket.
That blanket though.
Yeah, I want the blanket.
Yeah, I want the blanket too.
Still got the final gold dust, lantern, dagger. I don't think we need anything else. I'm thinking the flask of water is unique. I could drop a meal.
I'm
maybe.
scared that they're offering the lantern again, though. I won't lie. But we do have that sphere, so we shouldn't have to worry. It's just I'm worried they're offering it again. That's the new variable.
Oh, good. 1, 2, 4.
Okay. Turn to 124. In addition to your supplies, Senator Chill provides the winch, ropes, and cradle by which you will be lowered into the shaft that descends into Zariix. Upon your arrival at the Square of the Dragons, he supervises the assembly of these vital components while you stand with Senator Zelaris and stare in awe at the cauldron itself. In the glow of 100 lanterns, it takes on the appearance of a huge, steep-sided sink that is stoppered with a plug of stone. The key to this plug is a rod of coralinium that, until this evening, was kept locked in the vaults of Anarium. Now it rests in the hands of the president. Senator Chill signals his work is complete, and the president inserts the crystal rod into the plug of the ancient stone. At first, nothing happens. Then you sense a vibration beneath your feet. Crackling tongues of pale blue fire leap the rim of the plug, and the hiss of escaping air breaks the seal of 3 centuries grime that holds the plug in place. Levers and ropes are brought into action, and slowly the giant great block is lifted, and the shaft to Zarek is uncovered.
Okay.
So
and
wait a minute.
Oh yeah. Go on.
Okay, go on.
Well, no, I'm about to end the episode, so if you got anything.
I was gonna say, like, this key doesn't seem to really do anything. It's all the ropes and such. Well, the key operates that, so never mind. That was dumb.
But it wasn't particularly clear. Like, do you think like he turned the key and he like started an engine or something?
No, I think he put in the key and a bunch of like slaves behind the scene were just pulling ropes.
Oh, okay.
He just like jams this rod in there and they're like, hey, it's our time, it's our time.
You know when I first read this, like the cauldron, I kept imagining like a cooking cauldron. I was wondering, like, huh?
Yeah, I do too, every time.
Gotta
Or a witch's cauldron.
gotta refer to this picture. Like I think we're in like a massive basin of some kind. I think. At least from what I can tell. But yeah, let's end the episode here. And next time, we're going to figure out what's inside of the cauldron. Fear. Well, it says right there in the title. Probably fear inside there.
Oh,
Make sure you like, comment, and
yeah, we
subscribe.
found it. Time to go home. We're done.